Dylan. So who here is single? Oh, jeez! Wait, who here's in a relationship?
I'm so single my mic doesn't even work. I'm single, isn't it? Strip!
Here we go. We're gonna.
You strip too!
See-through something.
Fair trade, I think. Everyone here's in a relationship. God. Oh man, I remember growing up. Not you. Okay, I'll see you after. No, growing up I was always jealous of her. I always had these friends and brothers and cousins who'd have these gorgeous girlfriends, and they'd always be like, "Oh, Dylan, wait till you meet her. She's so nice and pretty and amazing and perfect." And she'd be all those things. And I dated one girl once. She was alright. She was okay. I didn't have the same passion they had. I found myself going, "Oh, wait till you meet her. She's so tolerable." You might not hate her. You might actually stand being around her. I wrote that joke 9 years ago. I have dated other girls since then. I've done a lot since then. I was a little goody two-shoes back then. I never did any drugs or anything. And then I remember in January 2018, I smoked weed for the first time. Then a month later, I did acid for the first time. I'm kind of glad I stopped the trend there. Just every month jump into a random escalation of drug use. In January weed, February acid, March, I don't know, heroin mixed with crack cocaine and crystal meth. I didn't even smoke weed several times in that month. I'd smoked weed once, went straight to acid. Wouldn't recommend. Yeah, there's nothing funny I can say about smoking weed. I felt happy and relaxed. Hilarious. But yeah, a friend was then like, "Oh, you want to try acid with me?" I'm just like, "Sure, why not?" So, yeah, we went to our hippie shaman friend's place, and they set it all up in the backyard for us to have the best trip possible. We're both doing acid for our first times. For those of you who don't know, acid, also known as LSD, is a psychedelic hallucinogenic drug. Usually comes in a little paper square. You put it under your tongue, kicks in with about an hour. I was told that it lasts 10 to 12 hours, 12 hours max. Mine lasted 24 hours. And we made the mistake of dropping it at midnight. But yeah, the first couple of hours are great. I felt amazing. The hallucinations were great. My friends were turning into animals. I saw a bar of soap turn into a baby ogre. I saw a statue of a cat turn into a real cat. With fur and everything. But everybody's trip is different. Now, my friend, his trip was like a kid taking a trip to Disneyland. Like, he loved the whole thing the entire time. He had the time of his life. My trip was like a week-long trip to Canberra. Now, as Wayne said, Canberra, like, look, the first day of Canberra is cool because you get to go to Questacon and, you know, check out the War Museum and everything. But then you realise you're trapped in Canberra with nothing to do for 6 more days. So yeah, it gets really intense. At one point, I'm just standing there, and I hold onto a chair for a few minutes. I go to walk away, and I felt the tug on my arm, and I freaked out because I forgot I was holding onto a chair, because that's what gets rid of your object permanence, apparently. It's also known to make you really existential, so maybe walking past a graveyard at 4 a.m. wasn't the best choice. But yeah, that was the scary part. Eventually, it's like 6 a.m., we've calmed down, and me and my friend are just arms around each other watching the sunrise. Forgetting how the sun works because we're just staring at it, permanently damaging our retinas. Yeah, the other thing, so on that day, I had plans to go to an engagement party at Wollongong Botanical Gardens at 12 p.m. So 11 a.m. hits, I'm like, I'm not hallucinating anymore, you know, I have control of my mind and thoughts again. I feel a little bit droopy in the body, but that's okay. So I decided I was alright to drive. I drove on the freeway like it was a school zone. Like a busy school zone where kids are actually crossing. I drove my Disneyland friend home. He has a shower and goes to sleep straight away. I go pick up another friend and we go to the Botanical Gardens, which must have like an acid activation force field around it. Because as soon as I set foot there, I start seeing shit again. There was a banana peel on the ground that turned into a moving slug. I saw a person made out of bark walk out of a tree. My friend suddenly got green skin and his face turned into like a racist cartoon of an Asian man. Eventually we found the engagement party and I'm like, okay, I'm around people I know, it's kind of cool now, no reason to freak out. I'm gonna go give my money for the engaged couple, you know, for their gifts. The person organising that, I give her $20 and she jokingly goes, oh, thanks for the drug money. So that freaks me the fuck out. So I'm like, okay, as long as I maintain eye contact and talk with everyone, that's fine. Woman came over wearing sunglasses. I can't see her eyes while she's talking to me, so that freaks me the fuck out. And then we have to, you know, stand there and listen to the engaged couple and their families talk and just stand there and that freaks me the fuck out. That had nothing to do with the acid, that's just me. So yeah, I'm tripping until midnight that night, so I was up for, 40 hours or whatever. So I stayed at my friend's place, woke up the next day feeling 100%, haven't done acid since, because fuck, that was weird. Here's the weirdest part. At one point in the Botanical Gardens, me and my friend, a duck just waddles up to us, and I had to fart. So in my wacky brain then and there, I thought it might be hilarious if I farted on the duck. So I turned around, bent over, and I farted on that duck. It was a huge fart too. My friend is laughing his ass off. The duck gets freaks out and waddles away. But the thing about acid, every feeling you have is like enhanced and intensified. So I did only just fart. I was under the impression that I just shat myself. But I felt diarrhea running down the back of my leg and everything. I'm careful about how I'm walking and everything, but no, it was just a fart. I love how most people on acid are like, oh, I am at one with nature. Everything about the world is amazing. I just changed my outlook of my entire life on future. Me on acid is like, oh, I think I just shit myself. All right, I'll give you back to Wayne now. Thanks, guys.